Hello, I'm John Proxon, I'm John All the West. I'm having a control adventure. This is the anchor. It's like a giant Pacman monster. Like shooting clocks at me.
It's making more clocks?
I'm gonna shoot, well, bits of wall at him. We can't afford to use abilities that aren't jump based. So he's gonna summon dudes. Sort of hoping. Not sure how I got out of that with no damage taken. Damage there though, didn't I? Oh my word. Come on. You fuck. I'm getting better at this fight though. Sure, I've like, I almost did it the first time. That means you didn't do it. I didn't even make myself a new drink. It'd be nice if I could get across. So we can get the first four. No, it isn't.
Item up there. This is the safe room. Well shown.
Yes, it is.
The one with the altered item. Great. More clocks. The fuck is that? It's making more clocks?
Our enemies are going to come out, but screw it. Hoping it's going to attack me next. Come on. There we go. Well, the anchor, yes. Oh, what a great way to start the episode. What I should do is pretend the last episode didn't happen. Let's give this anchor a hug.
There. No wonder the Rangers had such a hard time with that.
Indeed. Okay, black rock paneling successfully prevents manifestation of the sphere. A Trotman-style anchor made with iron and a wooden stock. Surface is rusted in places. Weighs... it's well heavy. The item generates a persistent black sphere, the purpose of which is currently unknown. The sphere is always generated at a precise point in relation to the item, specifically redacted horizontal feet and redacted vertical feet from the redacted of the anchor. Appendix 83. Ranger First Class was dropped in the sphere wearing a diving suit with a dedicated oxygen line at redacted at EST after 10 minutes and 13 seconds inside the sphere. Redacted's oxygen line was cut at the sphere's border by an unseen force. All agents in the room during Redacted's entry in the sphere experienced vomiting, vertigo, loss of fingernails within the hour of one another. Ranger Redacted has been declared MIA, presumed dead. Paper lantern. This item should be kept in a locked containment cell. Any prolonged observation of the item should be avoided. The item appears to be a paper lantern known as a kochin. It's Japanese. The paper is red with an elegant black Japanese characters that translate to ramen. Item has an attractive effect that is both physical and psychological. Nearby objects gravitate towards the item with a minor force of redacted. More notably, its ability to attract sentient organisms with its rich red colour and warm, comforting glow. These two, we can come back to, I think. Let's speak to Emily, because they're like collecting things and we'll see them about. One grows near televisions. Yes, face of the enemy. Oh. I'm glad that translates backwards. We'll do that later. Wow, that would have been nice. Better shield. Launch enemies. I like the idea. Launching enemies. Launch large objects. Cool. I was expecting more clothing in this game. It's just weird that I can change my clothing only because I got like a free DLC. Not complaining. It would be nice to have a suit. Like in, you know, Men in Black it. What's it glowing? It's glowing there. Hang on. It's reflecting in a bit that I can't see. That's really weird. It must be reflecting off the cup or something. Oh yeah. We can upgrade. Might be a good idea, but it would be nice to upgrade these bloody mods. I can't. Okay. I like Shatter and I like Grip. I think Shatter saved the day there. I should be looking at these. I'm just not. I'm a. I just figure the bigger numbers are better, and I can't be bothered to spend all day looking at them. Anyway, to the boardroom.
The resonance emitted from the HRAs is purely antithetical to every variant of the hiss signal it can arrange. But how did Darling create it?
Okay, if we understand the hiss to be a force based on vibration and resonance, then perhaps their incantation, which is now the agreed upon term for their vocalizations, is an effort to express the resonance using human vocal cords and speech. Would there be differences in if the incantation were recited in a different language? The most common word used is want. Interestingly, every usage of the word is attributed to a you. You want to listen. You want this to be true. You must want these waves to drag you away. Are we the you or the hiss are referring to? Does the hiss believe humanity, possibly all non-hiss life, wants to join it, to be consumed by it? Is that its goal? The second most used words are through and time. Is this possibly the hiss stating that how they arrived here, or an indication of its age? There are clear intentions in its words. Dismissing the incantation as nonsense, as some of my colleagues recommended, is beyond idiotic. Refer to the redacted for the full report. Linguistic abilities. Summary. Researchers were sent to transcribe the recursive chant repeated by the hiss entities. In the interest of safety, this was done with the non-aggressive floating hiss entities. However, no distinction between this repeating phrase and the one repeated by the more violent hiss entities have been observed. And what is the purpose of this repeating string of words? Is this how the hiss corrupts individuals? Does the chant produce a physical effect? Is it a message? An incantation? We were able to record a first-hand recitation of the chanting. See the corresponding audio record. Refer to the file redacted for the full report. Oh, I missed one.
It's happening. After all these years, Dylan is here. But am I too late?
How is he? I need to know.
He's clearly been affected by the hiss, but it's different than any other manifestation we've recorded. Maybe what makes you so special is genetic. He was a prime candidate. Or maybe it's Polaris protecting him, something else affecting the situation. I need to run tests. He seems more in control, more present.
I want to see him.
My brother. Or is he?
Of course. Now, Marshall set up an HRA-warded cage to contain him. It's on the upper floor, up the stairs.
Okay, I need to go.
Jesse, be careful.
Speak with Dylan on the upper level. Not before I read this. Timeline of events. Right. To examine the invasion's timeline of the events for possible patterns in his behavior, establishing a timeline is difficult at present because of the lack of reliable communication between the Bureau sectors and staff. Preliminary models indicate ground zero of the invasion is located within the executive sector. Once it becomes possible to interview surviving personnel, pinpointing the exact location should be feasible. Other outstanding questions that a timeline may help answer. How did the hiss get past internal lockdown? How does the hiss resonance advance through space, deliberately or uniformly? What is their ultimate goal? The outside world, a cross-dimensional destination. Refer to thingy for full report.
Hi, Jesse.
I visited the quarry. What's the plan for all that black rock?
The Bureau has used BlackRock almost exclusively for containment purposes. See, I say, branch out. Instead of boxes, helmets. Instead of blast shields, knives.
Knives?
Yes, knives! So many combat applications. Slicing, stabbing, gouging. Sorry. I've been trying to get Darling to explore combat applications for years. I got a little excited.
Wow. I did not expect that from her.
This place is looking good. Arish is making real progress around here.
Right? This place is a fortress. And with him taking care of operations here, I can spend more time analyzing the hiss. I've been attempting to isolate and neutralize the hiss resonance in blood samples, but no luck so far.
So you can't reverse it.
Not yet, but perhaps reversing it is too simple. See, if hiss resonance can rewrite human genetics, then perhaps it's a question of rewriting the hiss resonance. In theory, that could pave the way for custom human genetic alteration.
I wonder how often the phrase mad scientist is used around here.
I'm surprised Arish hasn't been promoted yet.
How is HRA production coming along?
Better than expected. We've already made enough to get people out of a couple safe rooms. And they're here, alive, thanks to you. And we never would have lasted this long if you hadn't walked in those doors.
You deserve thanks too, of course.
We got this place up and running together, Emily. I should be going. Enjoy your data.
Oh, I will.
I mean, she's going to be a head scientist by the end of the game, right? There's no way Darling survives this.
Oh my god, she have to write everything in a made-up gibberish code. Fucking Marshall with her CIA spy shit, god. I don't think I ever told you this, but I was actually on the path to being a ranger once. Did the whole boot camp thing. Even got rookie status.
Why would you tell me that?
Anyway, not the point. My own ranger squad was a great bunch. There was 6 plus me. Remus, Hazard, Cho, Guy, Hepton, Stolen.
Oh, I know 2 of those.
They were supposed to get back from an expedition yesterday. We had beers and wings planned. Problem is, they weren't here when Darling handed out the HRAs.
Then they had nothing protecting them from the hiss.
You see, they prepped for the worst, but I think that we're already past that. We all wore these pouches around our neck, and I really don't want the hiss to get them. Could you find them for me? The squad would have come back through maintenance, but they probably spread out from there.
I'll keep an eye out for them, Arish.
And I won't let them stay hiss.
Okay, I won't... yeah, they're all gone.
What's the deal with BlackRock?
Oh, fuck. Don't get me started on BlackRock. You know, ever since research found out that it blocks paranatural stuff, they have just been parading dangerous materials in and out of the fucking quarry. Fucking lab coats, man. Love making my job harder.
Sounds like there's some tension between departments.
Still, At least the quarry's got a good view of the night sky. You know, me and Salvador used to have after-work beers down there.
Salvador's dead, buddy.
What do you know about Dr. Darling?
About as much as anybody, I guess. Head of research, loves to hear himself talk. All of those science types absolutely do. He's been acting a little bit psycho recently. Although HR told me not to use that word, so...
Everyone thinks finding Darling will lead us to the answers. But if he's completely lost it, then what help could he be?
You're security, right? Do you work with Rangers?
Not often. Rangers are specially trained in threshold reconnaissance and ground zero AWE response. Security is more interested in the dangers inside the Bureau.
They must see some weird stuff out there.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, every week they are tackling things that were previously unknown to the human experience. Most Rangers, they retire due to cognitive collapse. I looked up the medical definition. Not fun.
How does the Bureau handle thresholds?
Handle might be a bit of an optimistic way to put it. Marshall sends her Rangers in to map them, check growth rates, locate epicenters, take samples, measure stuff, basically.
Sounds like he's done his homework.
Now, down in maintenance, thresholds are used just like any other tool. The lab coats mine black rock from one, maintenance siphons water from another. We use it for pretty much everything, except drinking.
Why don't you drink it?
Do I even want to know?
Yeah, a lot of time we find these little chunks in it. It's pretty gross.
I didn't want to know.
What do you think of Marshall?
Marshall? Marshall's a fucking badass. Rangers could not ask for a better leader. She's a little, you know, intense, but given the stuff she's seen, I'm not surprised. She does have a bad habit of disappearing.
Where does she go?
Last time she vanished, I did some digging into the security logs. I found camera footage of her entering the quarry. She was down there alone for days. Now, typically that's not allowed, but Marshall is kind of above the rules.
I wonder what she finds so interesting in the quarry.
I'm getting the sense that maybe the inner circle's probably going to be replaced by the end of the game, so I have my own inner circle.
I have to go.
Me too. You're not the only one who's busy, you know.
Right, there was a thing over there.
Don't get sloppy out there.
Television proposal. Based on the success of America Overnight, we would like to propose the creation of a television series that presents superstition and skeptical thought as an entertainment in order to popularize these concepts among the civilian population and create less resistance to redirecting information regarding public paranatural events. We can also use a solid media outlet to test paranatural concepts on civilian audiences, seeing how they react to certain facts presented as fiction in the event that the Bureau ever decides to make certain realities public knowledge. There are various show licenses that we could purchase. Sorry, I looked ahead. And reboot rather than starting from scratch. So one particular property seems promising, especially considered its content and tone are precisely what we're looking for. It's called Night Springs, and it's been off the air for a few years now. Hang on. How does this... So Night Springs, it's from Alan Wake. But Alan Wake was fiction in the world of Quantum Break. Although I guess Alan Wake does make more sense in this world than it does... No, it kind of... Yeah, it's like... Because it's secretly about an eldritch monster, but I guess an eldritch monster could just be from a different dimension. You know, like, because they never say it's an eldritch monster. There's just a big tree called a Great Old One, and it's like, wink, wink. You know what that means. And that's the only clue. Otherwise, it's just known as the Dark Presence. I don't think I want to do this now, because it's like I do 5 different things. So we'll just do the face of the enemy. What's the upper level? Oh, is it up here by any chance, John?
Marshall abandons us. I'm sick of no one telling us what's going on.
Pope's promotion. Dr. Darling has personally recommended Ms. Pope for a promotion based on her work ethic and assistance in advancing many ongoing research matters. See research reports. redacted for breakthroughs resulting from her work. This is... Ooh, she was a junior researcher. According to her colleagues, Purpose displayed a keen eye for detail and a quick grasp of paranatural concepts. She's professional, diligent, though some of her co-workers complain about social disinterest. The review committee approves of this recommendation and promotes Ms. Pope to the position of research specialist. Okay, collective unconscious is defined as a form of unconscious that is shared in all human minds. From this arises unconscious knowledge linking us for our ancestral heritage. See Jung report. Though this collective unconscious, we unknowingly attribute a series of images and archetypes to elements of our lives. These archetypes are never fixed, but shift and change in tandem with our species and culture. The internal belief in the power of images shared by a massive population is redacted in creation of altered items and objects of power. The sheer amount of redacted excluded is attracted to the best representation of that image, imbuing a single object with massive amounts of redacted. Theoretically, places of power could likewise be formed by a simple power of sustained collective belief. This is Paula Bronte and Lorenzo Dunn. Okay, I think they're both dead. Hang on.
Apparently the director restored HRA production. They're already getting other survivors.
That's
Okay.
no one's brother anymore. He's the enemy, plain and simple.
Ah! To whom it may concern, in case you are not aware, something caused a sticky note in my office to duplicate. My office is unusable now. I will be working from home until this is resolved. You can reach me on my cell phone. Sincerely, Jay Bozer, Vice Chief of Staff. Well, somebody survived the game.
What do you know about this Arish guy?
I heard some rangers saying he saved them in maintenance. They were attacked by a new kind of hiss, and Arish got them out.
All right, but still, a security guard.
Ooh, how's memory? I needed one of those, didn't I? Oh, it won't let me burst through walls. The oldest house imposes certain limitations on our bureau, but by far the most restrictive is the inability to use certain technological instruments. The oldest house does not allow any device that receives or emits any redacted signal. Radio waves are the only transmittable signals in the oldest house, and even those are often unreliable. If the power of collective unconsciousness, no, it doesn't say ness, is taken into account, it could be that certain pieces of technology are too new in the cultural zeitgeist, are redacted for the oldest house to redacted them. Yeah, so things like videotapes nowadays have a sort of mystical quality to them. And when I say mystical quality, like you can make them romantic. You can also make horror films about videotapes. You can't make a horror film about the internet yet. People have, and it just doesn't work. It needs to be a little bit removed. It needs to be old. Videotapes, yeah, because they're sort of, old. But not just old, archaic. Got to be something slightly out of date for it to work. So yes. Similarly, these items have not been known to be receptacles for altered status. Technology may be moving too fast a pace for the redacted to occur. Modern technology tends to disappear and break here, sometimes quite violently. Redacted agents have been injured by cell phones exploding in their pockets while entering the oldest house. The red flashing on my desk is from my mouse. Oh. Chicken. What's that chicken magazine? This is funny, John. Listen, I know you can't control building shifts, but the executive level restroom has been missing for weeks now. I worked my ass off in Islamabad station for 3 years. I've earned the right to a nice workplace shitter. If you can't bring it back, at least find out where it went. Because that seems like where I'm supposed to go, right? Well, I'm pretty sure that's a full circle. Should I do house memory? Oof, I don't normally... Right, well, let's just break down some stuff. Still using freeze. Oh, no, we're not. Okay, cool. Fine, we'll get rid of all the freeze. It's very risky getting rid of freeze. Enough. Let's upgrade. Now we can make twos. When we get more materials, we'll be able to make threes. The thing you just destroyed. Yeah, but we're getting there.
So how's it looking out there?
Yeah, I wanted to make sure. There we go. Yeah, I knew I missed a couple of rooms. Power utility. The objects of power are unique in their capacity to grant certain individuals power natural abilities. We call these individuals power utilitarians. The potency of these abilities depend on the power utilitarian. Using the redacted object of power as an example, some power utilitarians can achieve a throw distance of redacted, while others are capable of as little as redacted. The Darling presentation. What exactly determines an individual's power natural competence is unknown, but it is largely believed that some redacted exists within the body, and that, like all muscles, it can be exercised. Continue my analysis. Sorry, it's Emily Pope. By order of Casper Darling. To continue my analysis, I have officially requested access to the Northmore records. Considering he is one of the most accomplished power utilitarians in the Bureau has ever seen, Dr. Darling is still considering this request. Okay, I think we've seen everything at this point.
Wish the executive bathroom hadn't shifted away. I'd kill for a shower.
Oh, I hadn't picked up that.
Marshall orders us to just sit on our asses and then leaves? What's the deal?
She must have her reasons. She's probably out doing some recon.
Then she should have taken us with her. I need some action, goddammit.
Right, let's get to where we need to get to.
You are a worm through time. The thunder's home distorts you. Happiness comes, white pearls, but yellow and red in the eye. Through a mirror inverted is made right. Leave your insides by the door. Push the fingers through the surface into the way. You've always been in there. You want this to be true. We stand around you while you dream. You can almost hear our words, but you forget. Through time, the thunder's home distorts you. Happiness comes, white pearls, but yellow and red in the eye. Through a mirror the inverted is made right. Push the fingers through the surface into the way. You are a worm through time.
Shit.
The thunder's home distorts you.
That's
Happiness
Dylan.
comes, white pearls,
Can
but
you hear
yellow
me?
and red in the eye.
Oh, come on, Dylan. I'm here. I found you.
The surface into the way. You've always been in there. You want this to be true.
Do you know who I am?
Oh, you know me. Say it.
You are Dylan Faden's sister.
He's talking in the third person. Always a good sign.
Do you know who you are?
Not Dylan. Trench and Darling made sure of that. I'm P6. P6. But I'm better now. The hiss made me better. Push the fingers through the surface into the wet. You've always been the new you. You want this
Can you
to be
stop
true.
that? Please?
Not exactly the reunion I'd hoped for.
It feels good to say those words. I want to say them. They sound good. They make me feel good. Don't you want to say them too?
No. Fuck off, no. You need to help me get this thing out of his head. If he is still in there, if there is anything left, you have to help me.
You came in through the hole in you. We let you in. You've always been here. The only truth. A copy of a copy of a copy of a copy.
Stop it!
Orange peel.
Shit. Shit. He can see you. This is not safe.
We found Polaris together with my sister when we were very small. In Ordinary. In the desert, through the door opened up by the slide projector. But she didn't help when Trench took me away. She didn't give me any powers. All the powers are my own powers. She didn't help when they locked me up for years. After the song time for applause, we build you till nothing remains. The air cracks and the truth will emerge out of you. You are home. The Bureau brought the slide projector back here with me. And the Bureau did what the Bureau does. They used it. And they found... They opened the door up to the hiss. That's the only thing I can thank them for.
There. There it is. We stopped the Altered World event in Ordinary when we shut down the slide projector. And now the projector's here.
An earworm is a tune you can't stop humming in a dream. Baby, 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 yeah. Just plastic. So safe. Nothing to worry about. Funny. I welcomed the hiss. I let it in. To get rid of her. The hiss set me free. Polaris is using you. The Bureau is using you. You are a puppet. You can almost hear our words, but you forget.
If we shut off the slide projector, maybe that will stop the hiss.
Your regulations.
Maybe it's not too late for my brother.
You must see the truth for yourself, Jesse. Sister. The horrible truth about the Bureau. The hiss is the better option. Go to the Prime Candidate program in the containment sector. I have the keycard to get you there. Salvador wanted me to have it.
Wanted? Bullshit. I saw what the hiss did to Salvador. What it turned him into.
Okay, Dylan. I'll go. I want to see the truth for myself.
I'll go. But only to look for this light projector. You can help me. We can end this.
You are a worm through time. You are a worm through time. The thunderstorm distorts you. Happiness comes.
I don't know what else I'm hoping to find here.
That's side quest.
Dylan. Can we talk?
I'd like to tell you about a dream I had last night.
Off to a good start.
Okay. I'm listening.
I was back in Ordinary, before all of this happened. But in the dream, I was alone. It was just me. I was the only child. A girl. My name was Jesse Dylan Faden. But then the Bureau came and caught me, brought me back here, locked me up. Have you ever noticed that our names, Jesse, Dylan, they could be girls' names, boys' names, could be anything. Don't you find that weird? I find that weird.
Sure.
What the hell was that? Is he trying to mess with me?
You are a worm through time. The thunderstorm distorts you.
Yeah, he's implying that they are one and the same.
Red in the eye. Through a mirror, the inverted
Like, he's not implying it.
Maybe Dylan's still in there. Maybe there's a way to reach him.
I'd like to talk to my brother, please. Dylan?
Dylan would like to tell you about a dream he had just now.
This again?
I was going to be the new director of this place. I helped you get a job here, so that we could be together. You were an office assistant. You'd make coffee and deliver the mail, and there was always plenty of work to do. And it stayed that way, forever and ever. It was nice. Really nice.
That's debatable.
But here's the strange thing. The dream shifted, and none of it was real anymore. It was a game. We were in a game, and it was a fucking boring game. But you couldn't stop playing. And then it shifted again. Or maybe it was another dream already. Or maybe I'm just confusing them. But in this other dream, it was more like a musical. This is an ordinary song about an ordinary girl from an ordinary town. It's the ordinary story. She worked an ordinary job in an ordinary office. And something. And that's all I can remember of that dream.
Maybe that's for the best.
Okay, I'm going to let you go. He's got more things to say, and we're going to listen to them all. But at the start of the next episode, I've been John Fox in West. I've been having control